Hey, I'm James. I'm just going to put together a little crow playtime workshop for you. So just to give you a bit more confidence of how to balance on your hands. One of the great things about Strala is we encourage exploration, encourage you to try things, to move in a way that feels good. So one of the frightening sides of doing something like a crow is balancing on your arms, on your hands. That can be quite intimidating. So the way that I lead this in a class is to give people a slower method of finding their balance and their comfort, rather than jumping straight into, oh my God, I need to get my feet off the floor. So I'm just going to guide you through how I would take someone through a crow. So first of all, you've obviously warmed up, done a little bit of yoga, we're finding ourselves into a nice comfortable squat. Maybe just rolling around just to open the hips up a little bit more, just nice and easy. We're not trying to push ourselves, not trying to stretch anything too much. Just exploring, rolling around, maybe having a little lean forward. Again, we're not looking at bringing our feet off the floor at the moment. Just a little lean forward, just to feel what that weight feels like in the wrists, in the shoulders. You know, maybe we're not quite used to this before. The clever thing about our bodies, they're almost designed to help ourselves. So in our kind of knee socket here, we've got a little hole that our elbows effectively fit perfectly into. That gives us a little bit of, body connection. Then we want to look to plant the palms down, nice and flat, fingers spread wide. The wider you've spread your fingers, the more circumference, the more balance you're going to have on the floor. Again, we're not rushing into bringing the feet off, we're just taking a little lean in, so we can just see what that body weight feels like on our hands, on our wrists. Important thing with crow, any hand balance, is keeping your gaze out in front of you. So we want to just be looking ahead. Gives a good counterweight. When we look down, our head goes down, everything goes down. You've got to start to trust yourself that your hands, your knees, your feet, your ankles, they all know what they're meant to do. They're there to support you. So you actually don't need to look. Try and keep your gaze out in front. That's a big thing. If you can become confident in knowing that your body is there to help you, the quicker and the easier you'll find to do things like this. So the next step, once we've got used to feeling what this weight feels like, I like to encourage people just to come up on one tiptoe, just a little bit more, then maybe come back, just roll out of it for a little bit, catch your breath if you've been holding, and obviously we don't want to hold our breath. We want to breathe as we move. We don't want to hold tension into the body. Maybe take a little lean forward and try the other one, coming up onto a tiptoe, see how that feels. Again, coming back. We're not rushing, we're taking our time. When you find that you're a little bit more confident in what this weight feels like, maybe you can bring a toe off the floor. Again, we're going to put it down, we're going to roll out, we're going to hang out, we're going to take a breath. Maybe we bring a little stretch back in, see how we're feeling. No rush. You've got to ignore the people around you who are already balancing on their hands. We'll take a little lean forward. Maybe the opposite foot comes off the floor. Maybe it's a little bit higher. We put it down again, taking our time. When you get used to bringing a foot off the floor and you're used to that weight in your wrists and your shoulders, maybe you can come up onto those tiptoes on both. Maybe you can lift one off the floor and then just walk through, taking your time, bringing one off the floor, just alternating, coming back out. Again, we're not rushing to get the feet all the way off the floor, we're just taking our time. Once you found yourself in a comfortable place, being able to walk between, well, this is my favourite way, my trick, to be able to help people get into crow without, again, thinking about bringing their feet off the floor. So we're just walking, but actually maybe we're giving a little bit of a slow hang there before we put the foot down, and we're just lifting the opposite foot up a little bit quicker. So instead of waiting for the first one to hit the floor, actually you bring the second one off just a fraction earlier, just nice and slow. Eventually, when you get used to this weight, maybe you get a little bit of a longer hang time between the feet going down. Suddenly you're finding yourself maybe half a second, 2 seconds off the floor with both feet. Again, what we've not done is we've not rushed into, oh my God, I've got to get my feet off the floor. We're taking it nice and slow in stages, getting our body to be used to what we're doing because it's not used to it. So again, keeping those fingers spread wide. There's little sockets with our elbows. Leaning forward, looking forward. Maybe one foot comes off the floor. Maybe the second one comes off the floor. Coming back out, not rushing. Knowing that you can just rock forward and back. Rock forward, rock back. Taking your time, taking your time. Eventually, maybe keeping that gaze out in front, you can bring the feet together, and actually that hang time lasts longer and longer and longer and longer. Like I said, it's important that you keep your gaze out in front. If I'm here and I'm coming up and I'm giving that hang time, and I'm focusing, looking down at what everything else is doing, all that's going to happen is my weight is going to come forward, and I'm going to come down. Just keep the gaze out in front of you. So, I hope that helps, and next video we're going to do, we'll look at exploring into crow a little bit further, maybe bringing in a little bit of a side action. See you soon. Bye bye.